In today's fight news, we start off with Dustin, the Diamond Poirier, sitting down with the MMA Hour discussing his upcoming UFC 302 title fight against champion Islam Makhachev. The Diamond says that he's going to have his young daughter sitting front row at his title fight at UFC 302. He says he wants to show her that you can accomplish your dreams, and this is his last shot at the title, so he wants her to be there to see it. The former interim lightweight champion Poirier says he thinks the champion Makhachev is taking him lightly, and he plans to capitalize on that mistake by Makhachev. Poirier was quoted on the MMA Hour as saying, "I understand the threat in front of me on June 1st. The pound-for-pound #1 guy, Khabib's pupil. I understand the challenge against me, but what a way to finish the story. I am that guy to do it." DP also jokingly told Helwani that if he can successfully get a guillotine choke on the champion Makhachev, that he'll get a bronze statue of himself in his front yard with the guillotine position. Also, the Diamond is going to be the first fighter in UFC history to wear the new gold UFC gloves in a title fight with Makhachev in their UFC 302 bout. He also praised the gloves for being lighter and easier to make a clenched fist with. The champion Islam Makhachev also showed off the new gold gloves on his social media account. Also on the MMA Hour, flyweight champion Alejandro Pantoja tells Ariel Helwani that in order to be at the highest level in MMA, you have to fight for the UFC organization. And when asked about arguably the best flyweight of all time, Demetrius Johnson, Pantoja had this to say: "He's the GOAT, you know? How can I not say that? I think right now, after 2 title defenses, I can speak a little bit about that. I have a huge respect for Demetrius Johnson. I can try to compare myself with him. That's a dream for me." Speaking of the former UFC champion Johnson, he says that the UFC should not even let flyweights main event anymore after this past weekend's UFC 301 event, in which the organization didn't even hold a press conference for the fighters. Recently, light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira spoke with AG Fight and was asked about a possible future rematch with former champion Yuri Prochazka. The champion Pereira says that he isn't expecting to see any major improvements in the game of Prochazka in comparison to the massive changes he's evolved from in just a few fights. While speaking to TNT Sports, interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall says that the heavyweight champion John Jones is, quote-unquote, playing games by posting on social media, entertaining a possible super fight with light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. While on the MMA Hour, former UFC fighter and fight analyst Dan Hardy says the UFC's planned late start time for the upcoming UFC 304 event in England is a bad idea. He states that the UK fans like a drink, and by that point, they will have been drinking. That energy will now start to have died off. People don't want to start developing hangovers as the main event's walking out. It's going to be a weird atmosphere in there. Lastly, we end with top prospect Paul Hughes stating that he has big plans for his new organization, the PFL, stating, "I didn't come here to just make noise or just take easy fights. I came here to effing take over and to change the game in the PFL." Thanks for watching. If you appreciate the content, like and subscribe.